Hi friends, after discussing sheet 1, 2, 3 and 4 and the latest being the thermometer chart, we will be talking about two-axis chart this time. Now this is a very similar chart to the one discussed in sheet 2, but the point of difference lies in the fact that here we had used only one axis for comparison, no secondary axis. In the sheet 5, we will be talking about two different axes for computing values. Now why would I require two different axes? Let's say when you're comparing two data, or let's say putting them side by side, one may be in US dollar million and one is in percentage, talking about profit percentage of the different regions. Now if I use a basic chart without modifying any value, let's see what we get. That is, after choosing the data, insert a basic column chart. You will notice I cannot see the red bar, or let's say the red line. Why? Because compared to the actual whole numbers of the sales, I do not get the profit percentage since they are very small, all in decimals, 0.16, 0.12 and so on. So how do I show them in a different axis such that both of them are comparable? So let's see. After having started from a basic column chart, how do we reach from here to the final chart like this? Alright, so firstly let me put the legends on top as usual. Let me go to layout. By the way, you don't need to select the legends box, you can also select outside and go to layout and then go to legends saying show legend on top. Now since I'm not able to see the red profit bar, how do I select it? With the mouse it seems almost impossible. Yes, you can take the help of shortcut key by using down arrow key. As you notice, as you toggle using the down or up arrow key, small selection appear at the bottom, which is indicating the profit. So at that position, let me right click. Let me go to format data series and let me say secondary axis. Perfect. This is just one part of the entire process. Why? Because right now you have made it in secondary axis, but they seem to be overlapping. So now let me right click on the red and say please change the series chart type, and let me make one with the marker, that's a line with the marker. Okay, so you get these small markers, that's the line with markers. So I have a secondary axis, I have the values put in the line graph so that they are both comparable. Let me use the down and up arrow key to be able to choose the vertical axis grid lines. Those are the one that is indicated by the bubble. Let me delete them. Alright, now if I want to put the data labels, so let me choose the entire plot area. Let me go to layout, data labels, and let's say outside end. But it doesn't work. And why is that so? The reason being, the option outside the end is only restricted for the bar diagram. For the line graph, the options are slightly different. So if I choose the bar, that's the blue one, and then I go to data labels and then I say outside end. But when I choose the line graph, the options inside data labels are slightly different, and that's the reason it doesn't get activated when you choose them both. So here I choose, let's say right, could also be maybe below. Yeah, that doesn't look good, so let me stick to, let's say, center. Left or right may be better. Alright, now for making sure they are in different colors, I'll change the font color in some time. But let's say for some reason I would want these axis values on top, something like this. How do I do that? Let me right click on that. Let me go to format axis. Alright, now format axis has an option which says where would you want to put the axis label? Next to the axis? No, I would want to put that in the high part, that's on top. Alright, so that was axis labels on high, close. So if I choose this value, make it in red font color so that it matches with the line graphs color, make it bold. Similarly, I can choose the axis value, choose the same red color and make it bold. So whoever looks at this data, he can quickly make out that this values has to be read from the right axis, that is the secondary axis. Same for the next one. I choose the font, make it in blue, make it bold. Choose the primary axis, which is showing you the sales US dollar million. Make the font blue, make it in bold. You may also want to slightly stretch it a bit. And for one or two axis labels, data labels, you'd want to place them manually so that they look better. And last but not the least, you can choose the chart area, right click, format chart area. Let me change the fill color to the one given in absolute light gray, or it could be any other color. Your choice. Light gray should look better. So why does it look white? Yes, as we discussed in the last video, this has a separate individuality. The plot area, the plot is on top of the canvas, which is chart area. So let me go to plot area, right click on that, format plot area, and possibly make it is in a no fill so that I can see what is behind. So there you go. This is how it looks. If you change the chart dimension a bit, this is the similar trend that you would be noticing. So this was a 2-axis chart, especially when you're comparing values of two different scales. So it could be GDP versus, let's say, inflation percentage. It could be sales value versus profit margin. And the two tricks are, first you make sure that one of the charts is on a secondary axis, and the second is to ensure the one of the charts is in a line graph so that you can compare them both. So we'll talk about more charts in the coming videos. Thank you for your patient listening.